What's up, family? Another beautiful day, loving everybody, loving it. Family, let this make sense. Make this make sense to you. They can deport Hispanics and blacks, but they can bring people from Ukraine here that can't do shit. Can't build houses, can't do no metal work, can't do no woodwork, can't do shit. But they can bring people here from Ukraine, 280,000 here from Ukraine, but they can deport Mexicans that can build houses and do landscaping. Folks, bullshit. Check this out. Ludicrous. It's ludicrous. Totally bullshit. Check it out, folks.
Place by Russian invasion of their homeland, according to federal statistics obtained by CBS. Americans ain't never met these strangers. Don't know nothing about their little, they type of KKK leaders and stuff. Little symbols and what they little minds, the tendencies. Nearly 10,000 Americans across 10,000 zip codes, I should say, 10,000 different zip codes in all 50 states have signed up to sponsor these folks. Have they ever done that for you, family? Has anybody ever offered you houses
That's
like
Vicky. That's Vicky Dilla.
Has the government gone
I'm piggybacking off her.
for you to
Vicky,
make
that's
sure
Vicky
that
Dilla.
homeless black folks, including homeless vets, folks that serve this country, aren't sleeping on outside and stuff like they in caves and animals and stuff, lions and tigers and bears? Watch this. It says so far, more than 115,000 Ukrainians have arrived in the U.S. under the sponsorship program. That was at this time, family. At the time of this piece from 2023, I'm giving you some context. Go with me, stay with me for a minute. I'm revealing something here, which the Biden administration set up 2 months after Russian President Vladimir Putin launched a large-scale military offensive against Ukraine in February of 2022, right? It says triggering the largest refugee exodus in Europe since World War II. Listen to the terms there. Y'all know I'm going to get y'all, I'm going to get y'all the details, all right? It talks about how just in a matter of days, in a matter of just days last year, millions of Ukrainians, mostly women and children, fled the country. I'm skipping. Some of them, of course, were displaced in other European countries, but many of them have come to the United States, right? I'm skipping. It says, by all measures, the U.S. sponsorship program, y'all listen, called Uniting for Ukraine, is an unprecedented policy. Somebody say policy. Somebody say this is what you call tangible. Policy for strangers. Y'all listening? Allowing tens of thousands of Americans to facilitate the entry of unlimited numbers of refugees through a free and entirely online application system that, in stark contrast to most immigration programs, adjudicates cases, y'all listening, in a matter of weeks or even days. How many of y'all remember? Go back and watch my previous broadcast right here on this network that I did on the Ukrainians getting SSI. Watch this. One of the things that I highlighted, I told you all that one of my sources told me that she worked inside after she saw my broadcast, one of my broadcasts, because I've done several. I've done a few here. She said that they are told to prioritize the Ukrainians' SSI applications over ours. What does it say? It says even in this instance for this particular residential program, it says it's unprecedented, and it says it adjudicates cases in a matter of weeks or even days. How many of y'all ever know that the government can do anything in a matter of days? I'm not done. Watch this. It says that it's also become one of the main symbols of the Biden administration's steadfast support of the Ukrainian war effort, which has received billions of dollars in aids and weapons from the United States. Right? I'm skipping. Y'all watch this. Y'all ain't ready. I told you a minute ago that the program, as of February 21st, is the U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services, known as USCIS. Y'all look it up. Has received 216,210 requests to sponsor Ukrainian refugees from individuals living in 9.
That's why they was getting rid of. They was deporting people to make room for them to come in. That's what they're doing. See, they were deporting people to make room for them to come in. I'm going to fucking dogs. I'm going to the dogs. Gone to the dogs.
Zip codes in the District of Columbia, Puerto Rico, according to the unpublished federal data obtained by CBS News, including them. Y'all watch this? Y'all ain't done. Y'all ain't listening. It talks about some of the top 2/3 of the United for Ukrainian sponsorship requests that originated in 8 states: New York, Illinois, California, Washington, Florida, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and Ohio. How many of y'all noticed that those are some of the same so-called sanctuary cities? Some where the sanctuary cities are housed in some of those various states. That's a different story. So I'm not done. Watch this. Y'all ready for this? Y'all ready for this? It says here, family, in less than a year, Uniting for Ukraine has become the largest private refugee sponsorship program in the U.S. history. Now, y'all got to be saying to yourself, why would the U.S. government rush through, jam through a special refugee program that's not really refugee policy for these people? Why would they do it like this in such an unprecedented way and give them priority and expedite their applications in a matter of days? Y'all listening?
Yes, we are.
Mr. Wonderful here.
Though the program's beneficiaries are not legally refugees, while they are fleeing a war, these Ukrainians don't have refugee status, which offers a path to permanent U.S. residency. Instead, they have been granted permission to live and work in the U.S. for 2 years under an authority known as parole. Do y'all see where I'm connecting the dots from my previous broadcast on them getting SSI? Are y'all connecting the dots, family? Do you understand why I'm going back to this? Because so many of you all are saying you had no idea this was even going on. I'm trying to give you the inner workings of this. Watch this. Watch this. Why was that important to label them as parolees? How many of y'all remember that when I exposed over and over again, now everybody's starting to get outraged because it's starting to get even more traction after my coverage here, yes? Let's go back to the SSI. Let's go back to the Social Security Administration's website. Let's go back to the receipts from the Social Security Administration. What does it say? It says that Ukrainian humanitarian parolees and their spouses or children paroled after September 30, 2023 are eligible for supplemental security income, SSI benefits, if they meet the program's other requirements. The eligibility in part says what? Ukrainian citizens or nationals or non-Ukrainian individuals who have habitually resided in Ukraine. Ain't that a hell of a thing right there too? Who were paroled in the United States between February 24, 2022 and September 30, 2024. Or even after, y'all, they ain't even been a year. We still just months away from when this program is, the time frame of this program. Y'all listening? Or after, it says if they are a spouse, child, or a primary caregiver of an individual parole during the time frame. It says even after are eligible for SSI. In order for them, family, to get that parolee status, Americans, a policy was implemented so that Americans would open up their homes so they would have a place to get them SSI checks real quick. That's what is being said. And notice in the program, they had to be labeled as parolees, and that's a part of the specific and explicit eligibility in order for them Ukrainians to get SSI. Maybe we're going to call out every element of this. And I'm bringing this again to your attention to let you all know how your Congress folks can give us tangible reparations, tangible benefits, without any congressional
but they don't want to do it because we are not white.
Look what they did for these strangers and people that we know for sure have been busted with Nazi ties. I can't wait to hear what you have to say about it. My name is Vicky Dill. If you think this is something, wait to what I'm going to be revealing offline during my absolutely free webinar April 5th. Yes, I'm doing an absolutely free webinar offline because the information I'm going to share is heavy. I'm going to be talking about
watch the whole thing here, folks. Watch the whole thing right here. Look.
I don't care what your spiritual system is, it's relevant because I teach them.
You can work your whole thing right here.
Go to my website at VickyPlanet.com to save your free seat, where I'm going to be talking about spiritual wars, what they have to do with you.
Hey, folks, you hear it? They can deport Mexicans and people from Puerto Rico, etc. But they're bringing folks from Ukraine here to work that can't do shit, don't have no skills.
Is working hard to manage.
All right, folks, later, man. All right, peace out. First love, subscribe,
It may be time to
leave a comment. I'm over here. Like I said, I'm not racist. But the facts are the facts. I'm bullshit. It's bullshit.
Chronic
Later.
migraine patients